Welcome everybody to this week's Lunch and Learn by your host, Dan Hotka. This is my short disclaimer. I am an Oracle ACE director. I have chosen this method to share my expertise among the masses. I kind of like doing these Monday Lunch and Learns, little short webinars, not very long, doesn't take very much of your time, and hopefully you get something out of these. You can register for these on my website, which is conveniently plastered on everything here. Okay, you can register for these. You'll get the links Monday morning before they go out. And I will do these as long as I don't have a class that I'm teaching on Mondays or I'm in transit or something like that. And I've been known to put them up ahead of time and then post the recording. So just watch for announcements. I do blog regularly on Toad World. I do training for a living. I do have an advanced PL SQL class coming up the week of February 9th. It's the half-day format, $9.95 per person, 3 or more from a company. I'll give you a little bit of a break. If there's a number of you from the same company, I will give quite a break. So let me know what you can do, how many you have, and we'll see if we can't come up with an affordable solution for everybody. So I do have a portable computer lab. I do training over the web. I can come on site pretty easily, and I do boast a one price for on-site or private web classes. So, okay. Lunch and Learn. Today we are going to cover a free tool, a free SQL tuning tool that I designed and wrote, updated and such for my tuning class. There was a reason for its existence, and we'll talk about that shortly. As always, the links and slides to this presentation will be on my website shortly after the conclusion of this, usually about an hour afterwards. And there's the public class, okay? Right now it's $9.95 per person. It's all 5 mornings, very hands-on oriented class. And this is Central Time Zone, so it's 9 a.m. start time, Central Time Zone. And again, let me know how many folks you have, and we can work out an affordable solution because I would love to have you in the class. Okay, today's topic is JS Tuner, my free SQL tuning tool. We use it all the time. I keep it updated. It's kind of nice because it will basically how the thing got started was years ago. SQL Developer didn't exist. I'm doing the tuning class. Toad, of course, as if you've been following my blogs and my Lunch and Learns, is a good SQL tuning tool, okay? But not everybody had Toad, and I needed a tool that you could click and shoot and get an explain plan. So this JS Tuner is just a Java front end to command line SQL+. It only runs select statements. I don't let you inadvertently change your data thinking that you're just getting an explain plan and you inadvertently do some damage. It just does select statements. Okay? I've taken updates for it, suggestions for changes for it. Basically, when you run it, it self-installs itself. It self-configures. I'm going to come back to this slide. And when it self-configures, it makes this this config.jst file in the folder that you unzip it into. Okay, you start the thing, it'll make this file. Then you can edit the file and put your starting where your SQL files typically are, where your working directory typically is. You can add these things. And what I want to do is add probably one more to this where it ended up. But at any rate, you can edit this file and make a couple of subtle changes to it. The file does not exist until you execute JS Tuner for the first time, okay? It'll create it. When it doesn't see it there, it will create it and configure itself to the folder you installed it into. So, its main interface is to run explain plans. I also list out object information, and in this object information, this is where it kind of went obsolete on me when SQL Developer came out, because all of a sudden there was a free tool from Oracle that ran explain plans. So what I've done with this tool and why I'm talking about it today is I've included newer syntax, things that the tools don't tend to cover, really useful things that I find useful. It has now become a launch point for some of this newer Oracle syntax, the newer DBMS X-Plan stuff that I get from my role as an ACE director working with the optimizer group out in San Francisco out at Oracle, and from user groups and stuff, the stuff that I learned. It's got hints, it's got history, and let's take a look at the interface, okay? When you log in, it's going to let you know when it expires. I mean, you could probably hack the thing and do what you want with it. I can't stop you there, but there's no real reason to. I'll just email you another one before it expires. So just email me, let me know you want it, and get on the list. You'll also get, I'm also working on, and I'll talk about it shortly, version 4.0, which has got some cool stuff. So let's jump over to the tool. And there's the actual tool, all right? And I can open SQL from a file system. I can clear what's in here. Okay, there's the help, which is basically the how you use the thing. It's got a nice little walkthrough on how you use the thing. Okay, I've got hints and history files. So let's look at the hints. A whole bunch of hints. Everything in JS Tuner, by the way, is highlighted. Right mouse click copy, and then go and right mouse click paste. Okay, and the reason for that is it was great to get this to work. I solicited my brother's help, who's a great Java programmer for Ball Aerospace, and he helped me get this thing rocking and rolling. I put all of the Oracle mechanics into the thing, and it works great, but it doesn't drag and drop. Okay, so it's copy and paste. So I'm going to open up the history file, and you'll see, by the way, these are just text files out in that home directory, and you can just edit them. See, I need to clean this out. There's a lot in here. So let me first pull up a SQL statement. We'll just go with this ABC one here. Right mouse click, copy. Right mouse click, paste. And I can either run it, down here at the bottom, I can either run it or get an explain plan on it. Let me move it up a little bit so it's being confused with this. So let me do this. There we go. That should look a little better. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And when it pops up, it's done. The query results gives us the query result. Remember, everything is getting passed to command line SQL+. So the only Oracle software you need on your workstation is the client-side software. That comes with command line SQL+. I trip timing on, so this is just set timing on, and there's the count. There's the explain plan. It's just the auto trace. I set auto trace on. Okay, and that's the DBMS X-Plan standard kind of display. Gives us the where clause items. And the thing I like about this screen is it pops up so you can see your query and see this information at the same time. And of course I run statistics. Now this tool works clear back to version 8.0 or 8i, I believe. The enhanced explain plan, I was hoping to sell this part. That didn't work out. But this is basically another script that I talk about in my class called show plan. And in the class, I talk about the relationship of these steps. These are the relationships of the steps, okay? DBMS X-Plan does not show that. My script does. And it gives you some useful information. It's very easy to change this. I'm just changing a script inside the program. If your explain plan used the temporary table space, it'll appear. I'm going to show you a query. It's one of the other enhancements I've done to the thing. And then there's just the query and the where clause predicates. And by the way, this works with the rule-based optimizer back to Oracle 8i. The one that Oracle puts up with the auto trace doesn't give you the same results with the if you're working with rule-based, which is pretty obsolete now. Now let's go back to our SQL query. I can come in here and highlight a table. It's important to highlight it. I can do a describe. It's going to tell me what the table columns are, okay, and the attributes. I'm going to come in here, highlight it again, and click the index button. Again, in my SQL tuning class, I have this index info script. There's the index that's available on there. There's the columns, and we can look at another one that's got more columns. It'll print out all of the indexes, and it'll give you the index info for that particular index that's there. And there's my index quality that I talk about in my class. This one is not likely to be used by Oracle in an explain plan because it has a poor quality. And again, I'm using this as a launch point for some of my technologies. So this is just part of that report. I just added an additional where clause to the script where it's equal to the highlighted table. Okay, so there's some useful information. Okay, we can save it. We can add hints to it if we want. Let's go back to the history. We can grab this particular SQL statement, and we're going to see something different here. Paste, okay? And notice I got this hint, gather plan statistics. Oracle 10 introduced this. When you put this hint in, and by the way, in JS Tuner, it needs to be the very first. I look for this. It needs to be /* plus space gather. So if there's other hints, make sure you put this one first. Okay? I'm going to run this. You have to run it. It's done. See, it popped up. And we go to the explain plan, and it looks different this time. Okay? We get estimated rows and actual rows. Someone picked up on my post to Facebook, said that they use SQL T, and they were curious in this tool. I hope they joined us today. But this is what I used to run trace for, was to get the actual row counts that a SQL statement worked with. This is the cost-based estimates, okay? And as you can see, we got hash joins. If you take the class, hash joins work best when you go smaller to larger, okay? And the actual rows, this is what it actually did when it executed. And it did go smaller to larger, okay? It came out of that hash join with this. And then the output of this goes against this. And if you notice, you'll see the performance issue with this query. It's another hash join. Oracle thought it was going to go smaller to larger, but in actuality, it went larger, a lot larger to smaller. It thought it was going to come out of that hash join with 26,000 rows. It really comes out with 1/3 of 1,000,000 rows. So the cost-based optimizer really didn't get this one right. You need this information when you tune. And again, this is something that I picked up by going to trade shows, this gather plan statistics in Oracle 10 and greater. Okay? I will spot this if it's in there, the first hint, and I will run this different syntax for you. Okay? I'll run the different syntax for you. Let me show you one more SQL statement. And it's one that's got some a hint in it. Oh, please. There it is. Copy. And I can press the clear button. No. Right mouse click paste. And there's that no query transformation hint that, again, I can go into the hints and copy and paste that out. But this one, the tools are starting to pick up on this, but again, it was very easy for me to add. All it is a new column. And we're going to, oh, there's nothing there yet. Let me run this. There's a new column that showed up in Oracle 10, and they gave us this way to document subqueries. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. Actually, we can just do an explain plan on it too. Either one. The explain button just runs an explain plan. The run button actually executes it. So we go over here to the enhanced explain plan, and there's my subquery. There's that, the output of that hint and where it showed up in the explain plan. Okay? DBMSX plan does not show this. Does not show this yet. So if we went to the explain plan here, we'd have to follow it through with the subqueries, okay? But there is no bucket for it, So this is an enhancement. I know Toad has it. SQL Developer doesn't have it yet. Rapid SQL has it. So some tools have picked up on this. Oops. Other ones have not. So again, I have enhanced the tool, included newer syntax in the thing. Okay. So that's basically the tool in a nutshell. It is absolutely free. Let's go and look and see what else I wanted to show you. Showed you this. We talked about copy and paste. Highlight, copy, highlight, paste is your friend. And then there's the DBMSX plan. Okay, the rows and bytes on that same, that's that ABC table. The enhanced explain plan, and there's the B table, has a couple of indexes on it, and if we slide over, they're both in an excellent, so Oracle will use them on range scans. And then I show you the same thing that I just showed you. Okay, so you can edit the files. These are all like history.jst. You might want to edit it and wipe some of them out. The hints.jst, you can add your own hints, snippets, anything you want to copy and paste into your code. You can put here in this this hints.jst file. Okay. It is current through Oracle 12. I should have put a slide in here because Oracle 12 has some newer syntax. I have already included that in here. And what that syntax does is if Oracle, I'm trying to think of the term they used, if they do an internal rewrite and they come up with multiple plans, my tool will use the new DBMS X-Plan syntax and show you which plan it used and how many plans are available for the thing. So I've already added that to this. Some new features that are coming up for this tool, and I'm just going to bounce back over to the tool itself, is I'm going to add another tab out here, and I'm going to do some library cache management. I'm going to allow you to find SQL statements in the library cache, and you know, I really don't want the thing to be destructive. I don't want anyone inadvertently goofing anything up, so I don't know if I'm going to put a purge button on it or not. I'd like to put a purge button so you can highlight a SQL statement, knock it out of the library cache, and there's reasons you would want to do that. So the tool is absolutely free. All you got to do is ask me for it. It self-configures when it installs. You just unzip it and run it. The download from my website is a request for the tool. The tool itself is not exactly on my website. Oops, I misspelled website. Look at that. So today I covered JS Tuner, my free explain plan tool. I'm going to have the slides and the links to this presentation up on my website shortly. Do remember the class that I have coming up on February 9th, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Thank you very much.